Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to this My First 5 Years Instagram Live. And today we're going to be talking to Eve from Bundlee. But of course, because it's a joint live, we just need to invite her.
I'm going to do the pressing of the buttons today, which could go disastrously wrong, so let's see how we do. Bear with us while we invite Eve to join us.
And while we're just inviting Eve to come and say hello, we've got some really exciting news at My First 5 Years HQ today in that the app of the day. So that means we're featured on the App Store. You can pop over and have a look, and it just tells you more information about My First 5 Years. But that's really exciting because it means that Apple really like us.
That is really pretty special. We've been told that hardly any new apps get featured, let alone featured 3 times. So we're really, really excited about that. And it looks like we've been joined by Eve. Yes.
Hi, that's great.
Oh, hang on, it's chopped our heads off. Give us a second, Eve, while we just sort that out. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you don't need to see our heads. Here we are. Oh, well done. I love when the tech works.
Never worked with tech or children, and we do both.
Yeah. Welcome, Eve.
No, really, really delighted that you've joined us today. And we are just fascinated about your story, but also we just love finding brands that are doing something unique and different that we can put in front of our parents and members so that they can just start to think a little bit differently about some things that I'd never considered, certainly with the 3 children that I've had. And I think we called this talk Thesis to Perfect Solution for Planet Conscious Parents. So just tell us like your eureka moment for this as a starting point, and about that thesis and a bit about your journey before the company existed.
So I run Bundlee. You can see some of our clothes behind, and we're a rental service for baby clothes. So I'm like the eldest in my family, and there's like an 18-year age and the youngest. So when I was a teenager, our house was suddenly overrun with all of this baby stuff, and yeah, as a teenager, it was pretty annoying, let's be honest. And I know that that's like a problem a lot of parents face as well. It just feels like you need like more and more stuff, and constantly they're outgrowing their clothes, and you feel like you're always having to buy the next size up. So I'd kind of experienced that problem, but from the elder sister perspective. I then spent a year studying in America, and over there rental of clothes is just so popular. They have like a huge like women's wear designer rental service called Rent the Runway, and myself and all my friends would all rent like these really gorgeous dresses for like a fraction of the price, and that kind of got into rental. I started to learn more about just like sustainability and the impact of our clothes on the environment, because like I feel like that's only really been talked about in the last like 5 or so years, like more publicly, but like just that our clothes have an environmental impact. And then I basically paired together that rental model with baby clothes when it's kind of the ultimate fast fashion, because they are just constantly outgrowing those clothes, and it just makes so much sense to pair the 2 together. So then I went back to uni, did a master's, and spent a whole year researching this concept of rental baby clothes, which culminated in like, I think it was like a 300-page thesis that I ended up handing in.
I think when we spoke to you last time, you talked about something like babies go through about 7 different sets or sizes of clothing, which is, when you think about the huge amount that you get, especially the baby grows that you get when you first bring your babies home, and they're literally in it for 2 minutes, especially as everybody buys your baby grows. So you end up with 30 baby grows that you don't spend any time in at all. So it really makes sense if you're not going to hang on to those to be able to either rent those or
exactly.
share
they
that
take up
rental.
So much like precious space like in our homes. Like we all don't have like lofts and stuff that we can be storing boxes and boxes of clothes in. It's just great knowing that you can return those clothes and just get the size that you actually need.
So where do you find your clothes from? So when you're looking for those clothes that you're going to rent out, is it that people can donate their nearly new things to you? How do you source
we work
what
in
you're going to
different
use
ways.
to rent?
So actually, originally when I was starting the business, I wanted to work with brands. But I didn't really have much to show them because I was just like a girl with an idea. And they were like, okay, show us something more tangible. And I also found that it was really hard in the market to find like clothes which are just really easy to mix and match and pair together. Like there's a lot of clothes with really cool prints, which we do have. But for that like core wardrobe where you just want to easily be able to put an outfit on them, and then when you need to change that outfit 10 minutes later, easily put another one together. So we ended up developing our own range called Bundlee Originals. And with Bundlee Originals, it's like all like complementary colours and kind of like minimalist prints that you can easily create outfits out of. So I've got a few of them back here, like say like it's like clay kimono, or like just a little t-shirt. We've just recently developed zip-up sleep suits as well. So we've got the zip on those.
Nice.
That's what I got. It's all Bundlee Originals. So just like super easy, and like all the colours like go really lovely together. And with that, we curate them into sets for parents. So it's like a set of clothes that changes as their little one grows. So like with 0 to 3 months, you'll get a lot more one pieces, but then when they've made it to like 12 to 18 months, it's more separate pieces and like joggers and shorts and stuff like that. But then we also work with brands, so you can see some really cool prints behind me. So we work with amazing brands, like have some like mini Rodini pieces, Maury as well, which is a great one for sleep suits. I know everyone's obsessed with the Maury sleep suits. We have Patagonia, and we've started doing shoes as well. So we have Vivo barefoot shoes. So yeah, we've got so many amazing brands now that we work with.
That's amazing. And how are you getting over the stigma of the old, what we would have called hand-me-down clothes? So you were the oldest sister. That was amazing. You got the new stuff. Unless, of course, we used to hand-me-down between families. So we'd get this massive big black bin liner would come from my cousins. I had cousins, Gwen and Gaynor, and we'd get their hand-me-downs. So we never got anything new. Even as the eldest, I rarely got new things. But how do you get over that stigma of, you know, pre-owned clothes? And, you know, I know people are beginning to think differently now, but you're still finding it quite a challenge to change parents'
like, with
mindsets?
our own wardrobes, like as adults, we start to think about how we can be more sustainable. And I know, like, say amongst the parents that are in our community, they'll go to shops for their own clothes to find like pieces, or they'll like rent like a dress or something for a special occasion. So people are definitely getting over that stigma of reusing clothes. I think we're now seeing that actually if you start off with really good quality clothes, they are going to last through multiple babies in our case. And what we do at Bundlee is we like professionally clean and also sanitize clothes in between rentals. That just gives parents the assurance like these clothes are going to be as clean as can be, like scientifically as clean as can be. So they're actually like cleaner than any clothes scientifically that you could find in the shops. So yeah, we use this technology called ozone. So it's an environmentally friendly way to sanitize the clothes without having any like negative drawbacks on the clothes themselves, or like releasing any like chemicals into the environment. But I do think like people's views are changing, and that people are realizing like for us to help the planet and help with this climate crisis, we need to be making the most of the resources we have on Earth. And if someone has gone to the effort, say Patagonia are producing such a great piece of clothing. Patagonia, they're so great as well because they produce clothing for kids at the same quality as they produce their adults wear. Whereas I know some brands kind of think, oh, we can like use the kind of like lower quality material, lower quality threads and stuff like that with children's wear. But Patagonia, like, no, needs to last. So that's why we partner with the brands that we do, and why we create our own range, because it's all pieces that do last. But of course, with like little ones, there's always going to spills and stains and accidents, and like that is perfectly normal. So we have rental insurance included, so that covers like any of parents' worries, but we still say like return everything to us. We are able to get out like a lot of the stains that you can't get out at home. We can get them out just because we have like professional facilities to do it. But anything that's still got like a little stain or something that we just can't shift, we either donate or we recycle. So no clothes landfill, which is like super important to us.
Yeah, we were having a chat earlier about what happens when you have that spaghetti bolognese disaster. That, you know, and suddenly you've got this kind of rental clothing that then is covered in tomato sauce that you can't get out. Or obviously, if you have a rip, or as happens to children as they grow, and so
Yeah,
basically that's covered by insurance.
exactly.
You take out the plan
Yeah.
and you just send it back as it is.
What I want to know, Eve, is what are your top tips for getting rid of spaghetti bolognese out of clothing? Because I still feel it on my, like I've got a white blouse today. If I was having spag balls, guarantee I would spill it down my front. So,
yeah, a top tip is pre-treating stains. So put a little bit of your detergent on the stain before you actually put it in the wash. The stain's still there after the wash, don't tumble dry it, because whenever you tumble dry something which has a slight stain, it like bakes it into the material. So try not to dry. To make your clothes last longer as well. If you wash the clothes inside out, that just helps protect the print on the clothes. Still look fresher. But my top tip, especially when like the weather's as glorious as it is this week, is to dry clothes outside. If clothes get the sun on them, it really helps remove stains. So the sun, nature's natural stain remover, we'll call
it. So if I was interested in signing up for a Bundlee box or Bundlee pack, is it like when you're ordering your meals for the week and they say, right, here's a list of our meals for this week, choose which ones you want? Or do you curate and say, we will send you a selection and we will choose for you?
So yeah, the family. Some people love, so we have our capsule plan, which features all our own range called Bundlee Originals, some of those pieces I showed you guys earlier, and we curate the set for their little ones, so they can let us know like the size, whether they want to do unisex, boys or girls, and if their little one's wearing reusable nappies or not, and then we'll curate a set that we think is like the perfect pieces to have at that stage of your baby's development. But then if you prefer to pick, you can do that as well. So it's kind of like all the fun of shopping, but like none of the guilt, because these clothes get reused. So yeah, you can like go on our site. There's the personalized plan there, and exactly what you said about like kind of like meal delivery services. It's a similar premise where you can pick your 15 pieces you want to rent from all the different brands. And yeah, with both of those, so you're saving like massively. Just like I know everyone's feeling the squeeze a bit right now, so with both those you're actually saving 75% compared to buying the same clothes new.
And how long do you keep them for? Is it that you keep them until you've finished using them, or in terms of payment, is it like a monthly subscription?
Yeah,
so that you
so
just
it's a monthly subscription. So I talked about the capsule plan is £24 a month, and then the personalised plan is £39 a month. And with that, it means you can clothes as long as you need that size. So there's no like set return date. You just keep the clothes as long as your little one's in that size. Most people keep them for around 3 months, because that just tends to be the rate of growth. Once your little one's above like 1 year old, so I don't know if there's anyone listening here who's got kind of like a little one starting to become a toddler, you can keep the clothes still for 3 months and just swap them for a new seasonal selection, so you don't put the next size up at that point.
No, that's cool. And we were talking about changing mindset, like you're having to change a mindset about hand-me-down or second-hand clothes. We're very much in what we're trying to do, change a mindset as well. We've launched a parenting app, and parents are very used to parenting apps where what we call ages and stages. So that will say your 12-week-old baby should be doing this, this and this, and your 16-week-old baby should be doing this, this and this. So the big mindset that we're trying to shift with our app is that all children are totally unique. And stop that sort of toxic comparison with other children, or stop thinking about what a 12-week-old baby should be doing, and think about your child and their unique approach to learning. So I think as challenger brands, you're a challenger brand and we're a challenger brand. We call it challenging the nonsense. Nonsense to spend a fortune on clothes that your child's going to grow out of, and in doing so you're contributing to climate change issue and waste and all that stuff. And from our point of view, it's nonsense that, apps treat every child as if they're exactly the same, learning the same at the same time, at the same pace. So it's hard being a challenger brand. What have been your main challenges, would you say, of bringing a new way of thinking to parents?
I want to learn from you guys. I think the challenge is for us that a lot of our customers are the first person in their friendship group to try rental, and we now have like, we've had over 1,000 families rent from us. So like, we have got this like pretty like decently sized like customer base now, which we're like super proud of, and it's just been amazing that all these parents have like kind of like taken the leap to try something new. But one of the challenges is with stuff around your little one, like you do tend to go to other parents in your social group to ask for advice, and if other parents haven't yet tried it, it's like, ooh, should I be the first, should I not, should I take that leap? So I think that is one of the challenges, is just getting those people to be the first in their group, but then they end up being the first, and then they tell all their friends, and then we end up getting a group of like 5 friends all trying us because they like feel the benefits of it, but it's just getting that first person to try in the group. And what the challenges?
I think we sort of call those people early adopters, and they hopefully become your brand ambassadors because they really buy into what you're doing. But there's no doubt what we're trying to do is different and a new mindset.
Yeah, and I think it's similar in that, just even when talking about clothing, it's just the habit of you buy clothes that you own, that are yours, that you keep, that eventually either fill your wardrobe, end up under your bed in a vacuum pack, or end up with a tip or donated. So I think the idea that it makes a lot of economic sense as well as environmental sense, that if you can find really nice quality clothing in, that's on trend, if that's what you want to be, that's got some nice pattern to it, that then you can wear and then pass on. I think, it's just about people, and you're right, in terms of adult fashion, we're going way more down that kind of circle of reusing fashion and found fashion. And I think it will come, but it's just people realizing that this is such a more practical and responsible way of doing it.
I think, with both our challenger brands, what we're looking for, isn't it, is brave parents that are willing to challenge what everybody else is doing and take that leap and be the first. Similar to you now, we have getting on for 3,000 users. In fact, we've just been announced as App of the Day on App Store today. I can't tell you how excited we are about that. That is a massive, massive achievement. And right now, because for us, traction and users is more important than anything else, our app is totally free. And anybody that downloads it now, so those early adopters, a bit like yourself, it will be free forever for them. So it's not like we're sucking them in saying it's free and then we're going to charge them later. And what we want is parents to use it, take that leap of faith, love what we do, and start to tell everybody else. And of course, at some point in the near future, we'll turn on an annual subscription like yourself. But we honestly think it's going to be the best money parents will ever spend. They should be spending a bit with you, spending a bit with us. And between them, they'll have an amazing wardrobe that's, ethically the right thing to do. And also that they'll be giving their child, the best start in life. And I'm trying to remember the word we use internally for that comparison. I can't remember it now.
No, it's not
It's a made-up word. When parents constantly compare their child. And it's just nonsense, because every child walks at a different time, maybe 9 months, 12 months, 15 months. And what we're trying to say is parents accept that as a fact, don't they? They know that every child is unique when it comes to walking. And our big, strong message is every child is unique when it comes to everything. So if an app's telling you otherwise, don't listen to it.
And I'll definitely, we've actually said that if anyone on this live is from the Bundlee community, is on our email list, there's an email that you've had from us which has the My First 5 Years app download link in it, so you can find that there.
Wonderful. And we're obviously going to do the same back, because it's also about being a supportive community of founders, isn't
Absolutely.
it? It's brave to be a founder, and it can be a lonely place sometimes. So when we can find, other founders that are passionate about what they're doing and challenging and doing something new, then we want to be connected and supporting each other. So that's really important.
Oh, sorry.
So I was going to say, what's next for Bundlee?
We have so much exciting stuff coming up. So we're launching a whole new website, so it's being like completely redesigned. So one of the kind of challenges of being a challenger brand is you kind of have to create everything new. So there's not just like an easy platform I can use to create a great website for what we're doing, because we're doing rental and subscription, which is like such new things technologically. So yeah, we've redesigned our whole website. You can still go on our current website, it's still okay. I secretly look at it and I'm like, oh god, it's so ugly, I can't wait for the new one, but everyone else tells fine how it is. So you can still find yeah, the link in our bio for that. But yeah, we'll have a whole new website in about 2 weeks, which is super exciting, and just making the experience really seamless for parents. I basically told our website developers, design a website where I can be a mum, I'm feeding my little one at 3 a.m, I've got one hand and I can scroll through and easily find everything I need to find.
We know that. Yeah.
We've literally done the same with our app. When we chatted to our app developers, we said we wanted a parent to be able to use it with one hand. And it makes a big difference if you're just using one hand. All your buttons need to be at the bottom of the top. But it's things like this mean that we've really, you know, walked our customers' path, doesn't it? We understand what they're going to be going through. And interestingly, we too are launching a new website. So it must be one of the things that all startups do, is that they don't like the website and they have to do a new one at some point.
We've also got a new brand launching. So when that website goes live, there'll be a new brand on there, and it's been like one of my dream brands to collaborate with since the beginning. They've just been a pioneer of like sustainable fashion, but kind of like at that designer level. So yeah, I'm very excited for that one.
Nice. Now, what I want to know is, are you going to do an adult equivalent for yo-yo dieters like me that have various different wardrobes at various different sizes? Or even worse, what I've done before has been proudly, you know, showing off my new figure and thought, right, everything in my wardrobe, I'm binning it, I'm not having a safety net. And then, of course, yo-yo dieting tends to mean that you wish you hadn't thrown them away. So I think you just need where I can subscribe depending on what money I have that season.
You know what, there are, if people are interested in renting for themselves, there are some great, like, especially women's wear. Men's wear is still quite a new market for rental, but women's wear, there's By Rotation, there's Rotaro, there's Her, there's lots of really great ones for women's wear, so I definitely check some of them out. And then yeah, if you're interested in renting for your little one, I can pop the code that we have, but we have a special My First 5 Years code going. So it's MY30, which is the number, and that gives you a 30-day free trial of Bundlee, so you can like give it a try, see what you think, and there's kind of like no commitment there. So yeah, as we said, we need those parents who are willing to be pioneers and be the first in their group to try it. Give it a try.
And if parents sign up, is there a minimum contract outside of the code? Is there a minimum contract?
No, so there's no minimum. So you will join a monthly subscription, but you don't have to stay with it. So you can get the clothes, see what you think. If they're not for you, just return them, and you can pause or cancel your subscription. But I feel like the clothes are like amazing. Like, you're gonna love them when you get them. But yeah, there's no commitment, and I did that deliberately because I want parents to be able to like experience the service and experience the clothes for themselves.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Your passion absolutely shines through, and I think we often get that the passion for what we're doing shines through. Just a final question, like, what has been your biggest challenge, and what are you proudest of that you've overcome to get to this point of the amazing business that you have?
About this one, I'm just popping the code in the comments. Okay, there you go, everyone.
The most difficult question while multitasking and putting the code. That was really unfair.
The most challenging thing. God, do you know what? I'm like an eternal optimist. So as soon as I get through one challenging situation, I just like try and erase it from my...
It's gone.
But I
think can't remember it.
Like, the most challenging thing was at the beginning when I first started, and like for the first couple of years really, rental was just not a thing in the UK of like any kind of clothes, like women's wear, anything. So I think what was really challenging is like I was doing rental of kids wear. It was like a totally new thing, and just having to like fully explain it to everyone. Whereas now I think people have heard of something similar, whether it's toys or dresses or something similar that they can relate it to. So I think that was actually, as like a concept, like the most challenging concept. Obviously there's been tough days, and I think with any new business there's like things just get thrown your way that you're just not expecting at all. But what's really nice now is like we have a team now, so we have like a small team of 3, which is just so great. We have our warehouse team as well. We have all these exciting brands who've like joined this rental revolution, so I feel like we've overcome the hard times and hopefully are in a good spot now.
Absolutely, you're on a journey. Well, we wish you absolutely all the best. We're delighted to connect with you because we're on the same journey. We're trying to change mindsets. We're, you know, challenging the nonsense. We're trying to make a real difference to people's lives. So I am so pleased we have each other's contact details, and let's have each other's back and support each other as we grow.
Yeah, Bundlee community.
Thanks so much.
You're on here, and if you want to follow my first 5 years, definitely give them a follow. But also, yeah, download the app. It's free right now, so you might as well give it a try.
Absolutely.
And vice versa. Don't forget to check out Bundlee and have a go at using the code, which gives you a month's subscription for free, which is great.
You just reminded me just to say what we're doing next. Our next live is on the 28th of June, and it's about building babies' brains. And then the one following that on the 12th of July is activities, just really practical ideas of activities that you can do with your babies to help them grow that brain. So yeah, we'll see, and we'll keep in touch, Ian. Thanks so much for joining us.
Really good.
Thank you. See you.